This is one of the most important stories that I can think of, and for reasons that maybe you might have missed. And it's basically the story of Anthony Fauci, who remains to this day unscathed despite the targeted focus and the targeted attacks and the demonstrated contempt and enmity that Jim Jordan and Rand Paul and others had towards him, and the subpoenas and the constant upbraiding of the CDC and Walensky, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, and you lied, and nothing. He retired, I think, with the highest paid governmental official ever in the history of mankind. He's just, I mean, you will never ever be able to even remotely categorize or come into contact with the amount of monies that he enjoyed while being who he was. So we're going to go through this and why the fact that what he says, his own statement that there is a lack of evidence, a paucity of evidence showing that COVID mask mandates stop the pandemic, but covering up's a good idea anyway. Do you see how this works? Do you follow this? Let me explain. But first, I have to ask you, of course, to please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell before you know it. And let me tell you something, my friends, that you know and everybody knows right now. There is a special that will last, I don't know for how long, on my Patriot Supply, where you can save $200 on a 3-month emergency food kit with a 25-year shelf life. With 21 varieties of foods that you could not possibly duplicate, in 120 pounds of food in 6 water-resistant buckets that are stackable and modular in terms of their movement. They are simply the state of the art in terms of emergency food that you are going to need absolutely in your lifetime. It's not a question of, if, but when. And what particular reason will cause this, who knows, whether it's labor disputes or riots or lockdowns or some Fauci mania, I don't know, but you know it and I know it. And these people love to see you freaked out. So a lot of things we can't prevent, but we can do it regarding food. And the opportunity is coming to you right now. Preparewithlionel.com, preparewithlionel.com. Go to this link only, preparewithlionel.com, and save $200 off a 3-month, 90-day emergency supply kit. Okay, why is this important? Let me explain to you. Learn helplessness. Oh, my dear friends, learn helplessness is such a wonderful concept. Learn helplessness works like this. Years ago, there was an experiment. There was a dog. A dog was in a laboratory, and the dog was asked to do something. I forget what it was. A light came on. He pushed the button, and he got a pellet of food or whatever it was. And if he made a mistake, he would get shocked. Well, he learned immediately, oh, don't do this and don't get shocked. And the dog was happy and proud and eating, and everything was great. Until somebody said, let's just shock the dog anyway. And the dog said, wait a minute, hold it. I did the right thing, and you shocked me. Oh well. That must have been a mistake. Wait a minute, hold it. And pretty soon, after not being able to control its environment, after not being able to see what was happening, the dog just gave up and just sat there and collapsed and was shocked away. And that's what you are, my friends. You are being shocked away. Tony Fauci admitted there was a lack of evidence to show mask wearing stopped the spread of COVID, which is a rather far and remote cry from his early pandemic absolute certainty, steadfastness that the mandate was going to curb and to immediately deal with the spike in COVID cases. The former head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, he's 82 years old. He was called nation's COVID czar. because he absolutely, adamantly said that wearing a face mask coverings and social distancing in public because it recommended it. And as early as April 2020, he told freaked out Americans, quote, this is the quote, if everybody does that, we're each protecting each other because the data is it's more efficient to prevent transmitting to others than it is to prevent transmission to yourself. And people, as you know, we're mandated, we're told, we're ordered to wear masks in schools and public transportations, in theaters, and everywhere, restaurants and workplaces, everywhere. And the mask insanity began. And following a series of what appeared to be emails that were leaked and some interviews, since the height of the pandemic, Tony has been soundly criticized for changing his mind and flip-flopping and being rather inconsistent regarding his admonitions. As he admitted, there is a lack of evidence to suggest they worked in halting and stopping and interfering the spread of the virus. He told CNN recently, when you're talking about the effect on the epidemic or the pandemic as a whole, the data are less strong. But there are other studies that show that at an individual level, for individuals, they might be protective, might be. And putting a garlic clove, but behind your ear might work as a contraceptive. It might. And again, it might not. What does that even mean, might? So Tony was responding to a series of questions by a study by Tom Jefferson, whatever is anybody, Hemmings, who was a senior associate tutor at Oxford, whose research apparently concluded that there is just no evidence that masks make any difference. Full stop, period. Now, Tony's rather fascinating admission that the data are, quote, less strong on a population level comes to us, here we are in New Yorkers, who are now being told to consider masking up over the Labor Day weekend due to concerns about COVID. And a recent spokesman for New York City's Department of Health, said that wearing a mask may be a good idea in crowded indoor areas this weekend when people are expected. It may be a good idea. But he also said specifically that nothing about the guidance has changed and that the city currently has no plans to make masks compulsory. Now, New York apparently is also right now is reporting a record rise in COVID cases and hospital admissions caused by the virus. I have no reason to independently agree or disagree with that. I don't know. But this goes to show you very specifically this, dear and trusted fellow citizen of the world. You are being told that you will never be able to tell specifically what the truth is, and that if you hear something that is adamant and apodictic and absolute today, it may not be that way tomorrow. And there is nothing you can do and nothing you can say and nothing at all will make any difference whatsoever, because you never know what is going to happen regarding this. So don't get too upset one way or another. We don't know, but you know what? Couldn't hurt. And yet there are people who, despite this, are going to say no. And I did a video, I hope you saw it, on masks and the like, because the thing you have to understand is mask is more, it's more than just this. This is the mask is a part of our world that has more to do with our own sense of relinquishing autonomy, habituating, surrender, acclimating, virtue signaling, hiding, keeping away, maintaining an almost a weird kind of it's like a tribal dance. And also, it reminds people of some of the happiest days they ever felt when they somehow became a part of a movement, even though theoretically it was to ward off certain death, but yet miraculously and mysteriously gave them solace so long as they could publicly proclaim an adherence to this mask movement. You're going to hear more about this. Well, it could. It could. Well, do cigarettes cause cancer? Well, it could. What might? Wait a minute. Hold it. You said, well, hey, well, no. Get ready, my friends. This is just the beginning. And it's not going to just be about COVID. It's going to be about weather. It's going to be about catastrophes. It's going to be about everything. You, my dear friends, are a part of a beta test, the likes of which you have never seen before. You are seeing, and wait, forget COVID lockdowns. What you're going to see one now are climate lockdowns. Oh, yes. We'll talk about that. But in the meantime, my friends, I ask you, please remember this. Preparewithlionel.com. Get $200 off of a 3-month emergency food kit. And this not will might help you when there is a food emergency. It will help you because there will be food emergencies. Like our video, subscribe to the channel, and please, dear friend, I ask you to comment as you see fit.